There is one family conversation that most families avoid. It's not talked about, and you know what needs to happen, but no one else does. And that's because you're dead.
What?
As harsh as that is, that's the reality for most people. That's where most people have left their last instructions. It's the ones that matter the most is when you're gone. And of course, I'm talking about estate planning. And today I want to unpack why we resist it, why it's the hidden pressure we put on loved ones, and how you actually make it easier on everyone. If you're like most clients I work with, your mission is simple. You want to take care of your family and you want to build something meaningful, protect your spouse, and leave behind clarity and not conflict. But what gets in the way of that? And I'll tell you, it's emotions and guilt, old wounds between siblings, between brothers and sisters and family, and old loans and failures and breakups. And we fear that. And fear is what we don't talk about. And we don't like upsetting people. So here's the map. We start by naming just one person. One person who can be your executor. That role is incredibly intense, probably more than most people realize. It's not just paperwork, it's managing siblings, it's managing emotions. These people who already might be in conflict. It's dealing with grief and logistics, and at the same time, handling all of that and getting it complete to finish your last instructions. That's why I rarely recommend having two executors. It sounds fair. We think we're doing ourselves a favor, but in reality, two people sharing that responsibility can create a great deal of paralysis, delays, and sometimes a lot of extra tension, especially if those two people that are being appointed don't see eye to eye. Instead, pick the best communicator. Pick the most level-headed. Give them the tools and clarity. Make sure they know where your documents are. Make sure they know and understand what your wishes are, what your long-term goals are. And make sure they're not alone when the time comes and you need them to fulfill that role. The biggest misstep I see is waiting too long. I'm trying to keep everybody happy by being vague or assigning too many cooks in your kitchen. Estate plannings aren't about fairness. They're about function. A poorly planned estate doesn't just slow things down. It can fracture and divide families forever. Start the conversation when there's no pressure, when it's a good time. Invite your spouse or kids into it slowly. Use what-if questions. What if something happened to me? What do we as a couple want to accomplish? What's our biggest ambitions and how do we want those best served? And who would step in and build that and that conversation from there? Estate planning is not about death, it's about design. You get to design peace. You get to design your own clarity. And when you do it right, your family, your estate, and the charities that you're close with will feel your love and intention through every single detail that you've designed. If you've been putting this off, this is your sign to start. I'm Shawn Todd. I'm a certified financial planner. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope this helps.